Another Fragments of Silicon day, another Fragments of Silicon dollar.
All right, welcome to another installment of Fragments of Silicon. Host Adam, and as always, our Petty and Gallix. Right, let's get to the news. Petty, I think you have many a thing to get off your chest.
Uh, Honestly, until last night, this morning, the week was going pretty all right. I was almost got done cleaning my room out for the first time in almost a decade. I was making plans to get the new blacktop, well, new to us, Blackstone, seasoned and ready to make some pork chops this week. Everything was going relatively well. And then apparently I looked through some of the mail that mom and dad had stashed, and there was something from the company who financed us getting the roof replaced. Mom and dad have not made a single payment since the roof was put on in November. Their past due balance is over $30,000. If they don't call them by the June 29th, they very well could start processes to force foreclosure on our house and we're homeless. So I went from hopefully having an, easy week, leisurely finish in my bedroom, see about, maybe getting some fragments or not some MSP videos shot to the archive, you know, a casual, easy week to
Hmm.
I now need to not only finish my bedroom like today or tomorrow, I also now need to go downstairs and work on the downstairs of the house. We need to get the house somewhat decent so they can see about having an appraiser come through and see about getting the second mortgage to pay off this loan. So that's fun. And by fun, I mean not really. I thought they were making payments, and instead, mom's been going out to eat 7 days a week on the money she was supposed to be getting to help at least my sister out. So that's actively infuriating. Uh,
Probably illegal too.
Possibly, because yeah, that's fucking nuts. Um, I did at least find some cool things going through here, like some old die-cast cars I had. I found my original Game Boy Advance. I found the box for my Zune back in high school. I think I know where the Zune itself is. I'm not kicking that thing on until I replace the battery because it's not been powered in over a decade, and if that turns into a spicy pillow, it will destroy the inside of the
Yeah, I was
device.
gonna say you should check the battery thing before you
Yeah, so that's
do
a
anything.
if I find it, there's a place on eBay I can get new batteries for like $30. It would be nice because we have an old speaker system that it can't connect to modern audio equipment, but there is a thing to put a headphone jack on it, and guess what has a headphone jack? The Zune. So we can load
Right.
that up with a bunch of music, and oh hey, we have basically background music if I don't feel like using, YouTube music or what have you.
Hmm.
It also can do radio, so that is also another option.
Ugh,
I
like,
mean, for something that's you already have, and you can get the basically a speaker unit for less than nothing in some places,
hmm
it's fine. You know, obviously, if I had to buy a bunch of stuff for it to even make it work with like an older hi-fi system, I wouldn't even bother. It'd sit on my shelf and be like, "Look here, youngins, what I carried around when I was but a wee lad in high school." But there is also talks of some groups basically trying to make it work with things like Spotify and YouTube Music, which if I can get it to work with a modern streaming service, that definitely changes things considerably for using it for the, home audio enjoyment.
I feel like it should at least have like Pandora compatibility. Like,
Well, remember it runs on Windows Mobile.
mm,
So if there was, the app is probably long since deprecated.
right.
So I would need to see about, if there is any headway on getting that set up. But yeah, I guess some fun acquisitions I got. Not really like gaming related, but both my sister and I have what are effectively MagSafe cases for our phones. They're not iPhones, they're not officially MagSafe, but they'll use a MagSafe charger. And I let my sister borrow the one I got. It's hers now. Luckily it was still on sale, so she just bought me the replacement. So, you know, just a mild annoyance instead of, "Hey sis, where the fuck's my charger?"
Hmm.
I think I have all the cards I'm looking for my deck I want to bring to the Digimon tournament next Saturday. Not this upcoming Saturday, but the Saturday after. So
Hmm.
it's mostly now just finding time to practice and, see if I need to fine tune any ratios, because that's very much the thing for a regional event. Um, I have watched some of the game stuff that we will probably be talking about later. Square Y.
I mean, the week just keeps getting stacked with news.
Yeah, well, no, I'm more of the why are you using AI bullshit? You literally are big enough to pay people to make art. Allegedly,
I
the
mean,
art is based off of art that was already made.
hmm.
So yeah, that's been a thing.
But yeah, the answer is because they wanted to.
Yeah. Um, and I think that's it from me. Just after the end of this month, I never want to clean anything for a good solid year. My body hurts. Don't
And your
be
soul is tired.
don't be disabled, kids, and try and work like a normal person. It doesn't work. All right, next victim.
Well, in lieu of anybody else, Gallix, you're up.
I think you're muted, Gulix.
Yep, nothing too interesting here. I have tomorrow an appointment with the doctor who prescribed the CPAP thing, so
Mm,
I get to regale them with the story of how it took frickin' forever to get in touch with anybody, but eventually I got it and it's been working pretty well, so that's
that's good.
probably good. I'm thinking about when I'm going to need to put the air conditioner in.
Hmm.
I don't mind as much during the day, but when it gets above about 70 at night, I need air conditioning.
Fair.
So that's what I'm going to be keeping an eye out for, kind of. Some exciting stuff for the upcoming Nintendo things, but we'll probably mostly be talking about that during topic of discussion, so I won't go too far into it, but they are doing some neat things for Splatoon 3, so I might go back and get back into that for a bit. And video game wise, I've been playing Mina the Hollower and Super Robot Wars Y still. Although I'm getting close to the third tower in Mina the Hollower. I'm in the third, what qualifies as dungeons.
Hmm.
I'm doing them in order because I can read newspapers. Although I have done a little bit of like looking up where can you get X thing and peeking my head. Like I've been to the beach a bit. Mostly to get the thing you get for the ring diving minigame.
Mild programming note. Apparently, we are in a tornado watch until 2 a.m. So if the stream suddenly goes off air, that means I lost power.
Concerning.
Fair enough. Hey, at least then you'll have an excuse for why your house is a mess.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Anyway, sorry about that.
Yeah, I think that's pretty much all I've got.
All right, then. All right, I guess it's my go. Well, as I have mentioned in previous weeks, the summertime has officially hit in the school sense of the word. So, more pertinently, this is the first week of watching the kids while my brother is at his job. Like, and it has its up and downs, but thankfully, and perhaps also a bit concerningly, those kids are quite pacified by phone screen.
Yeah.
It's actually a bit of an issue. Like with
Back
their
in my
actual school.
day, we knocked hoops up hills. Wait, no, hold on.
I mean, sure. Like, um, like I don't even know what to say to that, but um, like screens and tablets and phones in school, phones more so, are actually a bit of a big problem that the youth of today face.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, if you want to do it back in my day, it was concerned that cell phones and beepers made you a drug dealer. Like,
To be clear,
the
this is
reason
because they were used as a method of communication by people who didn't want to be communicating on channels that were easily accessible to the police.
bit more than that. It's also because they were expensive devices,
That too.
and well, this is the actual rationale I got from like a teacher, some fucking school authority. It's like, you know, these are tools of the rich,
Yeah.
and therefore, it was suspected that if a kid had especially a beeper, because okay, I will grant that have a kid having a beeper was unusual back in that day, but didn't 100% make them a drug dealer.
Yeah. They were
Yeah,
still rough.
beepers were originally designed for like high-powered executives who needed to be reachable for like
Doctor,
business and
like
doctors, people who needed to be available for like work emergencies at any time.
Yeah. This was more a side effect of zero tolerance policies.
Hmm.
Now, also, this was the time of fucking dare and say no to drugs and
Yep.
all of those other slogans and tactics that did not work.
Yeah.
I'm the weirdo
So,
that they worked on.
I'm still waiting for somebody to offer me my first hit of pot.
oh, it did make me more knowledgeable about drugs,
Yeah.
which
I've
was
definitely had
actually
friends I could have requested, but it never interested me at all.
I don't doubt it. Like, though, honestly, my high school days, the big problem was smoking.
Yeah,
Like,
just
Hmm.
general tobacco.
yep, like it was such a problem that the school administration just kind of had to give up and reach compromises. It was that widespread.
Well, apparently now, like, my niece is in high school, and apparently they had an issue with THC gummies getting passed around, so that was fun.
Well,
Well,
that's actually like very subtle.
Yeah.
yeah, like not like not surprising on that front. Although I suppose in the modern day it would be Zin packets,
Mm.
um, which I have not used. I have no interest in using, but I'm at least hoping they are far less disgusting than dip. My brother used to do that shit, and
Oh,
God,
no, my dad used to do that too, and he would just spit in beer cans instead of,
ugh,
yeah. Oh, yeah, and
yeah,
guess whose job it was to take the trash out?
ugh,
Yeah. I got the shit on my hands several times, and it was disgusting.
ugh. And yet it was still less disgusting than actual chewing tobacco.
I mean,
Like,
the problem is it doesn't the smell mixed with old beer too,
oh,
so it might actually be worse than chewing tobacco at that point.
well, yeah. I will be thankful that my brother did not engage in that in using beer cans,
Mhm.
but it was still disgusting. Like, and yeah, I will grant smoking was disgusting as well. Um, but it's not as viscerally gross as dip.
I
Mhm.
mean, dip, you're intentionally making your upper lip bleed so that it gets in faster, aren't you?
I don't know.
I
I've
I
never
don't think
done it.
any of us know or care.
Yeah, I, like I was just so disgusted by the material that I had like absolutely zero desire to try it. Anyway, I think we are getting a bit off base
Yeah.
here.
Hmm.
Yeah, so
Sorry.
you know, like I said, I'm watching the kids this week while their father is doing his work. Um, mostly fine. Sometimes there are like fights between the eldest and his sister. Um, they're like they are in that age group where
Sibling
that's
rivalry.
yeah is getting intense. The problem is the eldest is like 13 and the middle child is 9. So
Mm,
the eldest is also he's nearly 6 feet now.
Jesus.
Like yeah, like
It's
he's
real weird how big kids can get when you're, putting growth hormones in food and not having lead gas fumes in the air.
yeah, aside from tallness, it runs in the family. Like I
Mm,
am 6'3" myself.
mm.
Um and I'm like one of the tallest in the family. Like this kid may be like 6'6", 6'7", easy.
Oh, yeah, once puberty
Like
hits, yeah.
yeah, it's like he may be like basketball player size.
Oh, man.
Um that doesn't mean he's going to try out for the team because I won't say he's completely unathletic, but I'd be lying if I said he was inclined to go to the gym or thing, which
Mm.
is also a thing that runs in the family. Like, but yeah. Aside from that, and yeah, occasional squabbles about following rules. Like, it's been mostly fine. Um, like, thankfully, they don't ask to be entertained unless their phone's batteries are drained. So that means there's a lot less of me having to watch Phineas and Ferb this year, which I am eternally thankful. Yeah, I am very much on Pan Pizza's side of Phineas and Ferb. Like, no, it's not an all-time classic because this shit is about as formulaic as linear algebra.
Mm.
It is more entertaining, but when you are dealing with kids, um, just every episode being the same goddamn episode grates on the nerve.
Yeah.
Like, that show specifically, it is like you can tell that there is a formula, and I guess they do deviate it very occasionally, but ooh, I still have burnout from last year.
That's
And
part of the appeal to some people.
I get that. But I
Admittedly,
also,
it makes the series better in small doses that are spaced out over time.
yeah. Well, yeah, that is the other thing. It was actually designed to be a TV show that aired like once a week or once a day kind of deal.
Yeah.
Granted, even back in like when it first debuted, that wasn't the case because it would rerun all the time. It's
Mm-hmm.
just when you add that to the binge model, oh god, like
Mm-hmm.
does the repetition set in quickly? This is honestly something that got me burned out on a few anime series, like Sailor Moon. The original Sailor Moon was something I had to take breaks because that thing held the formula each arc.
Yeah.
Or Lupin the Third was really bad about that as well. Like part two in particular, because it's like 120 episodes or something. So
This is starting to get into a talk for MSP though.
yeah, fair enough. Um, Point is, yeah. Um, Outside of that, really, it's just kind of a waiting game until mid-July.
Mm.
See where things lie after the hearing, court case. I still don't exactly know what it is, legally speaking.
Yeah.
Like, it is like, other than it is to temporarily determine where the eldest is going to reside, maybe all of the kids.
So like custody stuff and
Yeah, like I'm not sure if it's like related to custody or if it's like an emergency medical thing because of the unfortunate incident that happened not too long ago.
mm.
You know, so whatever it is, like, things are definitely going to, at least we're presuming, change radically afterward, unless it's like a preliminary thing. I don't think it's the case. Um, like, I think it's just like it is like temporary, but that's one of the things that's unknown right now. What does temporary mean?
Right.
Like, so in terms of gaming, let's see. Been play been playing continuing through Horizon Zero Dawn Remastered. Finally got through the Frozen Wilds DLC, and really I've done about everything except for the main quest line.
Mm.
That I can do. Okay, there's like one DLC quest left, and like the final hunting challenge, but I'm like, you know what? I'm good.
I don't remember those
Sometimes,
really being useful for anything other than if you want the platinum trophy.
mm, yeah, it's also like I tried the final hunting challenge and it's just like, okay, this is burning through all of my resources and it's not really all that fun,
Mhm.
to go through really tough creatures in like 4.5 minutes.
Right.
Like, on balance, the toughest creatures in the game. Because I am nearly level 60, so the main quest line is not completely infinitesimal, but it is funny when I got the I for- like silence, the guy who talks into your
Yeah.
ear, um he's going, "Don't fight, run." Meanwhile, I'm just uh, taking out Eclipse troops with two, maybe one bow, depending on how strong bow arrow, depending on how strong they are. I'm just that powerful.
Right.
Deathbringers are once again not trivial, but compared to like a Frostclaw, like laughable. Um,
Mhm.
and also been playing the games for review. Um, one is um I think the best out of the pack that Acclaim gave to us, but um I'm just kind of a bit burnt out on roguelikes.
Mhm.
Like um the other is a chess-based game where I'm like, okay, this is fine, but it's like I've never been one for chess, like, and chess adjacent things as
Right.
well. Like, it's come up in some of our, chess-like games review. Um, and spoiler alert, it'll come up with this one as well. All right. So I think that's enough preamble. So merrily we shall roll along to the interview portion of the broadcast. And joining us once again is Tisa Foster of Ponderosa Games.
Hello. Thanks for having me back.
It's great to have you back. It's been a couple years since we last showcased your works. So before we get into what you're currently working on, a quick reminder for those who are either tuning in for the first time or who do not remember her first appearance. But Ponderosa Games is a two-person studio, um, not including cats. Their first, well, it's kind of important because the first game you guys put out was Catagram. Um,
Yep.
and given how much time has passed since we did the last interview, I have been wondering how has Catagrams fared in the years intervening.
Uh, I'd say pretty good. I mean, since Catagrams was our debut game, we really weren't sure what to expect at all. I was
Mhm.
kind of tentatively hoping for 10,000 downloads in the first year, and I think we're at about 15 now, and it's been, yeah, a little over a year, so that feels pretty good. I would say, we're still kind of learning how to, I don't know, how to make things work in the mobile world in terms of monetization. We found with our second game, which I'll talk about shortly, that is actually a paid game, whereas Catagrams was a free game. And the paid game, I mean, it was very interesting to see how that uh, how that
It's
performed compared to Catagrams.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that, but since it's brought up here, it is definitely a subject that's worth going into because while we don't get a ton of mobile developers on the program, we do occasionally talk to people from that space. And, you have chosen a very perilous route in terms of monetization in regards to the mobile landscape because not only is this game the Rhymatory, Is that
Yeah.
how it's pronounced?
Mhm.
Not only is it a paid app, it's also what they would qualify as a premium app. Granted, it's only $3, but any app that is more than $1 is generally considered to be a premium app.
Mhm.
And that has actually presented a problem with iOS and especially Android developers, because people have been trained to not buy those apps. So I'm wondering how things stand with your title, given what we've been told previously.
Yeah. And you're absolutely right. It is a challenging thing to do. And as you mentioned, especially on Android, I think Android users sort of have a reputation for being less willing to pay for games. So we haven't seen a whole lot of success on Android, but I was actually really pleasantly surprised on the iOS side of things. And we did get a little boost because iOS featured us on the App Store on launch, which was really helpful. So we did in like right now, I think we're at about 1,500 downloads. And while it's not, you know, while that's a fraction of the numbers of catagrams, it's actually made more money than catagrams has to date. So it's been, yeah, kind of interesting to um,
Yeah.
yeah, I was really um, pleasantly surprised at how launch went, and of course now it launched a little over a month ago, and the downloads are starting to drop off a bit, but still, like what we saw from Catagrams was like, yeah, you do get the big download numbers at launch, but then
Yeah.
things kind of trickle along for a while, and you get occasional like smaller boosts after that because maybe someone blogs about it, or maybe the app store features you or whatnot. So hopefully there'll be some more spikes in the future, and um, as we get more games out there, maybe that sort of thing can just add up, and the cross marketing and so forth.
Right. So, as I understand it from what we've been told from other mobile developers, like one of the key ways to do like paid yet not paid mobile games is to, you have that free chunk available, or it costs $1, and where the real money's made is on the add-on pack, the in-game purchases, or whatever you want to call them. Um,
Yeah.
like those will cost like $5, $10, what have you. And it seems like mobile purchasers are much more apt to buy into that than pay up front and get everything at once. So,
Yeah.
um,
Yeah, yeah, we'll see. It's been interesting because
yeah.
I was nervous about how it would go over, and based on what I've seen so far, I would try it again. I would try a paid app again because it's just kind of reassuring knowing that every single person who downloads it, you're getting some income from that. Whereas on Catagrams, yeah, we definitely have had people do the in-app purchases, the remove
Mhm.
ads, and the um, premium cats and things like that, but not as many as I expected. And like I said, over the course of a year, like it did not make as much money as the Rhymatory has in like a month. So it's
Mm.
and maybe we got lucky with the App Store featuring us like they did, but it's I would definitely try a paid app again.
Right. And the other like big mobile wellspring, so to speak, is subscription services. But
Hmm.
those are much harder to get into. You know,
True.
um, Apple Arcade's the big one, but I've also heard good things about Netflix. I think Google has something like that as well.
They
Yeah.
do.
Right. Yeah. I know like one of the caveats with Apple Arcade is if you ever sign up for it, your game can never go to Android. It can go to everything else except Android. Like
Interesting.
anyway,
Yeah.
But aside from the business model, like, it's probably a good idea to talk about what the Rhymatory is, and indeed, what is this game?
Yeah, so I describe it as a whimsical rhyming game with a steampunk theme. So the player's given a riddle and they need to answer with a pair of rhyming words. So, for example, the clue might be a piece of jewelry that takes unnecessary risks, and the answer would be a reckless necklace. And there's like over 300 of these riddles in the game, various difficulty levels. Um, there's one pack of 3-word riddles. I'm actually working on adding a few more of those for the next update because those seem to be kind of popular. But yeah, it was kind of inspired by like, I don't know if you guys ever played a game called Hinky Pinky. It was like a just kind of a classic road trip game where you present a riddle to someone and they have to guess what it is, and you give them clues like how many syllables there are and such. And yeah, I remember learning that game back in college and thinking about it and thinking it would lend itself well to a mobile game.
Never played it myself. Like, not you guys. Have you ever heard of this?
Not
I
personally.
I don't think it rings a bell.
Right.
Yeah.
Well,
Sorry.
it's fine. Like, and but not only that, but it's worth noting that you are also using different animals for this.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah, there are yeah, not instead of being cat focused, this one has a fox, an owl, and a crow that are kind of your game guides. They show up in the illustrations and give you the hints and so forth. Although there is one cat in the game. There's a kitty Easter egg somewhere. I don't know
like,
if I can make a game without a cat in it somewhere.
I mean, I guess it makes for a nice Easter egg.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, and I
um,
had a lot of fun with the art
but
for this one with the steampunk theme. So like
I
I
mean,
yeah made a lot of like goofy chandeliers and actually for this next update I made a couple more chandeliers because you just can't have enough chandeliers. So
like, do the chandeliers play a part in like the narrative?
uh I mean they contribute to the steampunk aesthetic. I mean they're very fanciful chandeliers. Like one of them has an octopus theme and one of the new ones is like a snail theme. It's kind of an inside joke with my D&D group. But yeah, I wouldn't say they play a part in the narrative. They're mostly just decorative, although spoiler alert, that is kind of where the a lot of the Easter eggs are hidden. So
I mean, is there a narrative at all, or is it just nice art?
I would say there's a very loose narrative. So like when you first launch the game, there's an opening poem that kind of introduces you to like the animals and what's happening because like the home screen shows like the animals flying through the sky in an air canoe, so it's like an airship but much smaller. And the poem explains that they're flying through the air and they are drinking their tea and they you're just kind of keeping them company and they're offering their riddles to you to solve as they fly through the clouds. So
Okay,
yeah.
and I do wonder, like, how do you go about creating these riddles?
I created them. Uh, I created them all from scratch. I don't love using AI for really any part of the game making process, and so
No,
like
AI would very much mess up a game like this, like even more
yeah,
so.
I agree. Yeah,
AI is not great at rhyming.
it is not. Actually, just out of curiosity, I had AI come up with some rhymes, and it was terrible. Like the vast majority of them didn't even rhyme. And
Yep.
I don't know, the ones that did rhyme just weren't, I don't know, just weren't
Yeah.
very interesting to me. So
You need actual human creativity to make a game like this.
yeah, I agree. So I would just kind of like come up with a list of words that I like words that are kind of inherently funny or interesting to me. And then I did use sort of a rhyming website to help me come up with rhyming words. I think it was called Rhyme Brain or
I
something.
mean, using a
So
rhyming dictionary online or in person is fair game.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I would say so. I think that part was helpful. And then once I had my
Yeah.
pair of rhyming words, then I would just try to come up with a clue. And
Hmm.
yeah, um, some of them are a little bit vaguer than others. Like I, I found it challenging to, as the person who came up with the riddles, I found it challenging to kind of gauge how difficult each riddle was. So I relied a lot on like friends and family to be like, oh yeah, that was that one was definitely tricky, and like, oh no,
Yeah,
I got
to
this
be
one
like,
right
oh hey,
away.
you might want to make the clue a little bit more obvious that you're talking about this rather than this.
Yep, yep, exactly.
Yeah. Yeah. Especially since these are rhyming riddles, so there's extra thought layer there.
Yeah.
Like, um, that being said, how do I put this? Like, um, how generous is the hint system, or is there a hint system?
The hint system, and I'm kind of pleased with how it turned out because you can kind of take your pick of what type of hint you want depending on like how much help you need. So there's number of syllables, there's first letters, there's sounds like, and then if you get really stuck, there's reveal a word. So you can kind of like pick which, like how much help you want.
Hmm. And does that affect anything?
Uh, really, like
Well,
we do keep track of stats. So if someone really cared a lot about their stats, they can be like, "Oh man, I used like 3 hints on that riddle and it's throwing off my average or whatever." But there's no like penalty or anything like that.
okay. So a bit different than what we usually see in mobile games.
I
That
guess I should
that is
ask real quick. Since the game is a paid app, how does the hint system refill? Is it just over time? Is there infinite hints, or would you need
There's
to pay?
infinite
All right.
hints. Yeah.
'Cause, like, usually in, like, a free-to-play something like this, the hints would be watch an ad to get some hints or pay us, like, a
Hmm.
99 cents for a 10-pack of hints,
yep.
you know?
Exactly. And that's what we did in catagrams. Like you watch an ad to get a hint. So this one's a little different. I feel like as a premium game, like you shouldn't have to
Right.
pay for anything. So it's, you get as many hints as you want.
Fair enough.
Mm. Yeah, I think that came up when we talked about catagrams back then. Like, um, but also it's different from the usual mobile scoring system as well. The three gold stars.
True. Yeah.
That
Yeah.
being
And
said,
that would have been a,
go ahead.
I was just going to say, yeah, that would be an interesting approach as well to, even in a premium game, I feel like you could have some sort of like system like that where, um, like you did really good on this one because you didn't, you know, use any hints or whatever. But um,
There's a couple of different approaches if you're using the star system, either not using hints or time.
mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, good point.
So, um, now are there online leaderboards in the Rhymatory?
There are not. No, we didn't really have any sort of competitive aspect for this one. I do have
Okay.
another word game in the works that I think I will look into that for, just because I think it lends itself well to that.
Hmm.
But yeah,
Now
not for the Rhymatory.
fair enough. Um, Now you said that these riddles are grouped into sections. Outside of the 3-word set, what are they separated into, categorically speaking?
Um, Supposedly by difficulty. So like there's a warm-ups category and then what I call classic and tricky. And they're supposed to be in increasing order, although of course it's subjective and some people find some of the warm-up ones really difficult and some people think some of the tricky ones are too easy, but I don't know, did the best I could. And then within each difficulty category, there's like a packs of 25 riddles. So, and those are just kind of arbitrarily named, like various sort of steampunk themed names, like compass and kettle and starboard and things like that. But mainly they're sorted by difficulty.
Hmm. Interesting. Like, not the approach I would have expected initially. Given the game and its nature, I would have expected, like, grouping things like tools, for example, or,
Mm-hmm.
you know, utensils, that kind of thing, kitchen items.
Oh yeah, so like the category itself would be kind of a clue to the answer.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, um, and like, do you have a set amount of riddles that you plan to add to the game? Are you going to add any more riddles? Or is the 300 all that this is getting in terms of content?
I am planning on adding some more. Um, right now, uh, the way the UI is designed, it lends itself nicely to like each category having 5 different packs of 25. And right now, I think classic is the only one that's full, so to speak. So like I have room to add a couple more packs in the warm ups and a couple more. I think I have one more slot for tricky, and then I could add a bunch more 3-word packs. So for the next update, actually, I'm going to try to add at least one more 3-word pack and one more tricky pack because someone specifically emailed me requesting more tricky riddles.
Hmm. And I guess that does open up another question here. What's the feedback been like on this title?
It's been good. Yeah, I haven't really received anything negative on the as far as ratings and reviews on the app stores. Um, there was a game review site that was kind of meh about it, and they said like they felt like the world could be like a little bit richer and maybe like have more of like a story to it, which I thought was interesting feedback. But
It's
yeah, the
simple,
responses,
but it's
yeah,
not easy. And it's
yeah,
definitely hard to make.
yeah, totally.
Yeah. It's also not the kind of game that's going to
Eh,
attract um a cesspit of criticism, let's say.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Yeah, mostly this response has been really positive, and people say that it's fun. Some people think that uh, one person described it as like some riddles are delightfully easy, others are diabolically challenging, and you just never know what you're gonna get next when you open one up.
Mm, I think that's a fair assessment. Um,
Yeah,
I did the first 10 under tricky, and they're pretty. They took some thinking.
yeah.
yeah.
That's good. I'm kind of hoping there's something in there for everyone because something I learned from catagrams is that your audience can really vary from people who are super adept at word games to people who are just kind of like casually wanting to have have a fun time. So
Yeah, yeah. Like, I found the game is good. It's a good waiting type game. Like, I was doing an errand and I played a bit of it. Then that kind of deal.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, exactly. That's kind of how I see it as well. I think a lot of the riddles, I was kind of trying to just hit like a middle of the road sort of difficulty where, you get kind of, you don't get it like instantaneously, but like it's challenging enough for you to have that satisfying like aha moment when you get it, but not to the point where it's like frustrating.
Mm, fair enough. And I suppose another question that I've been wondering, is there like an actual rhymatory in this game? Like, what would a rhymatory be?
Yeah, in my mind, the rhymatory is kind of the uh the machine, I guess, and which spits out the riddle, and it's sort of this contraption that in my mind is like under the boat, like in the hold somewhere, and so you like descend into the boat, and you turn on you flip on this lever, and the gears are turning, and the steam is the kettle is boiling, and so forth, and then like boom, that's where you get your riddle from, and it's just kind of like a yeah, kind of like a a destination or a location or the machine itself. I don't know, but it kind of reminded me of like an observatory or like a yeah, just some kind of like mysterious place where where you get these riddles from.
Right. Um, I suppose my final question at this stage is, can you give us any details on game number 3 at this stage, or is that still percolating?
It is still kind of percolating. I have a I have a word game that is I kind of have a prototype for, but I don't know if it's all the way there idea wise. I also have more of like a artsy game, like that's just kind of like Zen style, like create an image out of like falling sand kind of thing, and that's kind of high on my list of things I want to make as well. But I don't know. On the other hand, at some point, I would like to switch to making games for Steam as opposed to mobile. I think that the monetization over there just seems a little easier
Mm,
because it's just the sort of it's just a whole different um I don't know, a whole different mindset that the players have where
This
like
seems decent for Steam, frankly.
yeah.
the Rhymatory does.
Yeah.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, and I could perhaps look into porting it over, but yeah, I think long term that's kind of like on my roadmap is like making a Steam and or like console game.
Mm,
But now that I've made a couple mobile games, there's so much there that can be reused. Like I've kind of like gotten my tools and my processes down so that it makes sense to kind of keep going in that direction because I just with each game I make, I think it's like a little bit easier and it takes a little bit less time because I just have these things in place that I can reuse.
mm. Well, I suppose good luck to you on that endeavor. I mean, we know a lot more about the Steam marketplace, and um, it's just like the sheer size and scale of what gets released on Steam has a chance of bearing everyone and anyone. Um,
Yeah.
with you know, yeah. So if you do pull the trigger, um, it'll be interesting to see.
It
Like,
will. Yeah. Yeah.
right then. So I think I've run through my gamut of questions. I will see if my cohorts here have anything further for you.
I think I'm good.
Oh, the 3-word ones are tricky.
Oh no! Don't make me pull out the spray bottle, Gallix.
I know. I hadn't gotten much of a chance to play it beforehand, but it's pretty fun.
So
Yeah.
thank you.
Yeah.
I think another tricky thing was like how to market it so it doesn't sound like a kid's game, because it's like, oh, it's a rhyming game and it's got these animals, but like,
Yeah.
so like I put
Yeah.
the word challenging in there to sort of make it sound like, no, this is a game for everybody.
The
but
art style is also helps.
yeah, I hope so.
Hmm. Well, I think that'll be about it then. So Tisa, I want to thank you for taking time out of your schedule once again and being with us here to talk about the Rhymatory. It's been very enlightening. And indeed, we look forward to seeing your next venture when that happens. Um, in the meantime, the game is the Rhymatory. It is currently out now on iOS and Android. On Android, is it just on Google Play or is it like on Amazon as well?
It's just Google Play at this point.
Okay, fair enough. And it currently retails for $2.99 USD. So be sure to pick it up today. And Petty, play us to the next segment. All right, then. So, welcome to the topic of discussion. And boy, do we have a whopper this week.
Let's get
Um,
down to business. Wait, no, hold on. We can't use that.
Still, it's an appropriate usage of lyrics
Mm-hmm.
since E3 is dead. Long live E3.
Yeah, no fucking shit, bro.
Yeah, because this was basically E3, except no ESA. At least in terms of like what's being presented to us, the audience. The big thing that's missing from the Summer Game Fest is like the physical location where people could go and play live demos, and more importantly, in terms of the industry, the backroom stuff where like the retailer would go and meet the game companies to
Retailers
discuss
also
business.
possibly fucking dev poaching. That's a story for another time.
Right. I'm just saying this year especially has felt very much like E3. It still is an E3 because not everything has been condensed into, like 3 days.
I miss
Mhm.
Hell Week. I would rather have that than this being spanned over like 4 or 5 days.
Or the span of a week. I mean,
Yeah.
that is, we had the state of play from Sony last Tuesday. We actually covered that, and
Hmm.
I don't think that ever got cut. I certainly haven't sent it to YouTube because,
I'll have
um,
to look. We're definitely not sending it to YouTube because there's copyrighted music in there, and
yeah,
that will be,
no, I was about to say,
unceremoniously
like,
executed by the bots.
yeah, I was about to say, like, YouTube doesn't like when we send the live streaming of events.
Well,
They
it's
do tend to get
specifically
cut.
Sony because they have their own music arm. They use a
Uh-huh.
lot
Right.
of licensed music because they own it.
Yeah. But at the very least, that needs to be cut so it can be preserved
Right.
because it's expiring next week. And, as far as the other events, the three of us have not had our schedules line up in
Yeah.
order to do that. Like, I know Galax reached out to see if we wanted to do the Nintendo Direct.
I was
I
honestly
could not.
hoping you wouldn't because it's a bit early for me, but
Also,
I had it.
hindsight's 2020.
I mean, if we had done the Nintendo Direct, it wouldn't have been a waste of time.
Oh no, because
Mhm.
Nintendo rocked out at the end with a steel chair, but we'll be getting into that.
Right. Um, but aside from the expected Sony, Microsoft, and Nintendo and PC gaming show, like the
Mhm.
PC gaming show's been going on long enough where
Mhm.
I can I can say that.
Mhm.
We had
I mean,
the actual
it's a significant gaming platform.
yes, but we also had Day of the Dev, Summer Game Fest itself, um,
Right.
and a whole bunch of smaller venues like the Wholesome Games Direct
Mm.
return. Um,
Mm.
and like there's a few more that like um there were like Splinter Summer Game Fest's Black Voices, for example, or Southeastern Games Festival, Latin American Games Festival, that kind of
Mhm.
thing as well. So there's been a lot going on this past week. And um I think in terms of like main events presentations, pretty much everyone has gone with one exception. Um and it's an actual notable one. Devolver Digital. The Devolver Direct was supposed to be seen at Summer Game Fest, but
Mhm.
But they
got delayed.
postponed it to a different month.
Yeah. I don't think they actually gave a reason why, but here's the thing. I'm actually
Beyond the flippant, please enjoy yourself with the other thousand gaming news
yeah,
presentations.
yeah, that could be the reason. Like I'm actually fine with it because I'll be honest, I've never really completely gelled with Devolver's sense of humor.
It's
Like,
very Adult Swim, and you need to be in a mindset for that.
yeah, um,
It's not awful, but you need to be in a mindset for it.
yeah, and I am very often not in the mood for that. So, but that aside, um, and it's a matter of where to start, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because once again, we've covered the state of play. We have not covered anything else.
Mhm. I kinda
As
put
far as
my
we can,
thoughts from the Xbox one in general chat because I didn't know if we were gonna have time to cover everything.
I haven't actually
I mean,
watched the Xbox one, but I caught some of the highlights.
Mhm.
yeah. Well, given that there is no MSP, so we could go to fucking midnight. We could go and be fine. So we'll cover
Aside
everything
from Petty
here.
needs to sleep.
Sleep is good.
I'm talking theoretically
I
here. Don't think
know.
it'll take. So my point is, let's start digging into some of these. Um, Now I do have to bring up Microsoft slash Xbox with the additional caveat that news. Um, it was a lot of good news for Xbox at this thing,
Yeah.
but the thing is, good news often precipitates bad news. In the case of Xbox, it's a pretty typical helping of bad news because it's been announced slash rumored, like the axe is going to be falling at Microsoft again
Mhm.
because the new boss has been upfront with how shitty the business has been lately.
Yeah, I believe I put something on general chat mentioning they lost a lot of subscribers when they effectively doubled the price of Game Pass.
Among other things.
Insert
Like they've
surprise
lost.
Pikachu face.
Apparently, they lost $500 million last
Mhm.
year or something like that. Like revenues have declined to like 3%,
Yeah.
or like operating profit, something like really fucking bad.
Like
Um,
like the
they did.
kind of shit you can kind of see why the last guy was shown the door.
Uh huh. Yeah. Why the last regime is gone.
Mhm.
Um, and of course, the reaction has been very typical. Um, Wailing and gnashing of teeth, not without
Mhm.
cause. Like it because it's gonna suck that people are going to lose their jobs, but this is this isn't a case of
Welcome to current year.
yeah. How do I put this? It's honestly not the most egregious thing I found out of that fucking press release, which is impressive
Well, and it's
because
like it'd be one thing if the company was doing well and they were just trying to cut people out to make even more money. But the Microsoft Games division is not doing well.
right.
They are
Though
very
they did
sick, and they
specifically,
need to fix that, or they won't survive.
yeah. Because the concept of infinite money does not exist.
Mhm.
Believe it or not. Like,
Aside from how it's always fake, but
That's a story for a much different podcast.
Mhm.
yeah, we're not going to get into the intricacies of finance. But the point is, business, like, unless it's propped up to do something else, what they call a loss leader, um, a business expects a division to make money
Mhm.
or have a purpose in that prerogative. Um,
Like,
but getting back to
typically
what
in
I was
gaming, your console is a loss leader because they want you to buy the games and
yeah,
buy several games.
like, and people are talking about how this is the death of Xbox in their typical hyperbolic exaggeration ways. Like,
Right now,
no,
no. If it keeps this trajectory for another year or two, maybe.
I'm like, maybe not that short of a time because, okay, let's be honest. Righting the ship, so to speak, is going to take a long time. And I'll be honest, what we've seen out the gate isn't too impressive.
And it will
Um,
probably involve some stuff that makes certain people mad.
yeah. Well, that has already happened.
Yeah.
Well,
Because
in fairness, a lot of the stuff we are seeing now is what's left over from the past regime that is under contract and needs to come out.
that's not exactly true. Like, in fact, that is not true at all.
Ah.
Like, that is the lie that Microsoft has served up.
Mm.
Because we know this because Gears of War E-Day, it has been announced as an Xbox exclusive, even though it completely wasn't. We have ample evidence to show
Mhm.
us that this was coming to the PlayStation 5 until like the very last minute. Like maybe 5 minutes before the show started.
Mm.
Because they didn't tell anybody about that choice. So guess what's been showing up on promotional material? Oh right, the PlayStation 5 logo.
Mm.
Like
So do you think it's just going to be a timed exclusive, or?
It
they
could
have
be,
clarified that no, this is a forever for the Xbox exclusive.
which I
Like,
mean, I
Ah,
guess fair. The thing that it majorly
yeah,
hurt Xbox in the Xbox One era is there was nothing on the Xbox itself.
not the Xbox One era, the Phil Spencer area. The
Mm.
one we are just exiting.
mhm.
Mm.
Like,
The Xbox Series era
yeah, we're
Well,
or
still in that.
Series Part 1?
Yeah. So I'm just calling it the Spencer era because
mm.
Phil Spencer was the boss of that. I know that also extends back to like the Xbox One, but
Well, and I
it's
think a
better
lot of
to
it is the Xbox One specifically because the 360 had a bunch of very good exclusives, and for some reason they
yes,
stepped
yeah.
away from that.
Well, it's not just that they've stepped away from that; they have eroded their franchise
Mhm.
through god awful mismanagement, not just at the top. Like people always focus their hatred towards Phil Spencer, maybe Sarah Bond if they remember she existed. But here's the thing, like Microsoft's incompetence and mismanagement was not just at the very top. No, it rotted down into middle management. 343 Industries has been mismanaged for over a fucking decade.
That is probably a topic of discussion in of itself, and it's going to be involve me screaming for half an hour.
Right, but I think people like I don't think you understand how fucking degraded Halo is. Like Halo was legitimately one of the biggest entertainment properties about 20 years ago.
Hey, like the football games are, or sports games in general. Halo was one of those things where people bought their copy once a year, and that was their major game. They might get the
You're
expansion passes, but
dude, Halo was never that. It's
well,
never an annual thing.
or at least that was their big game they got with their console. You know,
Well, yeah, it was an absolute console seller.
that's
Like we have
console
numbers.
seller, not just console seller, but Xbox Live Gold seller.
Yeah, but my point is we actually have sales numbers. Like um from like the Xbox era where if Microsoft did not have Halo, they probably would not they would not have been in the console game very long.
Yeah.
Like that franchise is literally what built Xbox into the brand into a viable number 3 gaming brand.
Mm-hmm.
And you just look at what Halo Infinite did to it, among other things.
That's partly why the 343 discussion is going to be a half-hour rant by me.
No doubt. Uh, no doubt. But that's to illustrate my point. Halo, Halo has gone from being, one of the shining stars of Microsoft and the video game industry writ large to kind of just another franchise.
Mm-hmm.
Not even like um I'm not gonna say it's an also ran because we're about to get a Halo Combat. What is it? Revolved or
I
the
don't.
Halo Combat Evolved
They're
remaster
remaking
remake.
Halo 1 again.
Yeah. Well, they're actually
Mhm.
remaking Halo 1.
Yes.
The Master Chief Collection, that's a oh wait, no. They actually did a remake on the Xbox 360.
Yeah.
Like,
The 360 is an actual rebuild,
yeah.
rebuild remake.
Ugh. This is getting especially problematic because there are several games that are now on their second remake.
Which is
And
annoying.
yes, it is. And stop using the same name.
Yeah.
Like, looking at you, Nintendo, I'm going to slap you for calling it Star Fox. Like, call it something else because there's already a Star Fox. Nobody will
Literally, the
call it Star
Lilat
Fox.
saga is right fucking there.
Mm-hmm.
But getting back to Microsoft, yeah. So exclusives are back on the menu, but the specifically Gears of War E-Day exclusivity has just been a fucking shit show.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's no way around it. Um, Further tempered by the fact that previously unannounced games like the new Hellblade um, was announced for the PlayStation 5. State of Decay 3, PlayStation 5. Like, name a game that was at the Microsoft conference outside of Clockwork Revolution and Gears of War E-Day, and they are all coming to the PlayStation 5. Now, Microsoft has made some bullshit excuse about all previously announced games are going to the PlayStation 5. When no, we've known about Gears of War E-Day for ages. And the marketing materials, like, here's the thing, if that was always the case, there would not be any embarrassing instance where you have the trailer playing on IGN Live and it says PlayStation 5.
Or printed marketing materials showing up
Yeah,
with PS5 fucking logos.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you clearly did not have all your ducks in a row. And now Microsoft just looks like they look fucking stupid. More so than usual. So, that being said, Microsoft has learned the hard way the same lesson that Sony has learned. Not, though I think for Microsoft it's even more pointed because, they literally said, let's put everything on everything to our greatest ability. Like, for example, there's still not a whole lot of Nintendo Switch 2 ports happening.
Two
Not completely bereft
ports to
either.
the Switch.
Yeah, ports to the Switch.
Yeah, I felt like this latest direct, not to skip ahead a little, was a little bit heavy on catching up on like previous gen
So the
cross-platform
original
stuff.
Switch when it dropped.
Well, most of that seems to be powered by Capcom because whatever else, they're very in love with the Nintendo Switch 2.
Rock
Like,
on, bros.
yeah. But and Microsoft wasn't bereft of Nintendo Switch port, but they were very few and far between compared to, games coming to PlayStation 5. And, what's getting lost in the conversation is all of the PlayStation haranguing. Because what Microsoft has not taken off the table is Steam port or coming to Steam. Nothing has been mentioned in that direction. Probably because their attempts to compete with Steam were laughable both times they tried to do it.
And it's like
Like,
the Xbox basically runs Windows, bros. There's no reason to not.
yeah. Now, I can't ever say that they're not going to try that for a third time. Um, but
Yeah.
this is different than Sony saying that's enough single player narrative um, franchise games on the PC. The truth is not just it was weakening their own ecosystem. Steam players weren't buying those games anymore.
To be
We
fair,
actually
they
do
were
have,
doing bullshit
yeah.
things.
It's not so much bullshit. Like them coming in late was always happening,
Well,
but
it's not
the
even
novelty.
the thing
Okay,
where
the
you had to have a
novelty war.
PlayStation ID to play the single player games.
Not that has not been my experience because I'm playing the remastered version of Horizon Zero Dawn, and it does not it has a PlayStation account connection, but you do not need to have that to play it.
Some of the games though, I think God of War still requires one.
It might be a specific era thing. It
Yeah.
might have been a multiplayer thing.
It might have been a
Like,
patched out thing.
yeah. My point is that's no longer the case.
Mm.
It's just the novelty wore off, in like 2018, 2020, whenever it was, we've gone from seeing it's really it's really new and exciting to see Horizon Zero Dawn, Until Dawn, God of War, etc. Marvel's Insomniac's Spider-Man on the PC to, oh hey, it's another late broken Sony game.
Mhm.
That's the other thing. Sony's port quality had been getting worse and worse and worse.
Right.
Like, I remember the anger over Spider-Man 2 being especially ferocious for what it was. Like,
Yeah.
because and it wasn't the how do I put this, the stupid kind of rage where, oh no, a puddle is not being realistically rendered enough or whatever that was.
it was artificially kneecapped at like 60 FPS when your PC could definitely do more.
No, the Spider-Man 2 port was legitimately busted.
Right.
I don't know what the state of it is now, but and that was the typical state that that the port Sony was releasing was in. Like, like both Last of Us titles were put out in woeful, unacceptable state.
Mhm.
Um, and unfortunately, like Iron Galaxy received the brunt of the criticism the first time around. When no, it turned out it was Naughty Dog, because Naughty Dog themselves said, "All right, we're going to take a crack at it," even though we've never developed outside of the PlayStation since the Sega Genesis or the 3DO.
Yeah, I was about to
Yeah, that
say
doesn't sound the way to do it.
I was about to say not since the start of this century.
Yeah, longer. Like their last non-PlayStation game was like 1994.
Mm.
Like the point is, like, I get where Naughty Dog was coming from, but it's like you lacked the expertise to handle this, because um the PC and the PlayStation are different systems.
Yeah.
Similar architecture, but clearly different enough where oof,
It's like saying a ball peen hammer and a sledgehammer are the same thing.
right.
Technically, but I wouldn't take a ball or a sledgehammer to,
Anyway,
frame a house or, frame something.
getting back on Microsoft, so it's looking like huge layoffs, maybe 1,000 people, like maybe a studio closure. Um, I suppose I'm most worried for Compulsion Games and Double Fine.
Mhm. Double
But
Fine
again,
may not get closed. They may go back to indie just because
it's a
Tim.
new regime.
Yeah,
It's a new regime, so who can say on that?
but
Um,
that's probably with Tim Schafer still
though I
being there. I doubt they're going to just totally shutter the studio. They may give them the option to go
though I
back to
suppose
indie.
I suppose gun to my head, if I had to pick the studio I would most single out for closure, complete closure, Turn 10.
Probably,
I mean, Turn 10, already got hit the last time around. I think like half that studio got axed.
yeah.
And from what I understand, they've been turned into a support studio because Forza, it's all about Forza Horizon now.
Hmm.
Forza
The last
Horizon's
mainline Forza game did awful.
oh yeah. Yeah, it did.
What's the difference?
Like,
Cross-country racing versus track racing?
oh no, the actual state of Forza Motorsport 2023, again, stop releasing games with the same name. But it released in a technically piss poor state.
And
Um
to your question, real quick, Alex, Forza Motorsports is the full on sim, like
yeah,
Gran Turismo.
it's in the
Oh,
name.
and the Horizon ones are a little bit more.
They're a little more
Yeah,
arcadey, a little more
Okay,
free roamy,
fair
a
enough.
lot more sprint
yeah,
races than circuit races.
it's also the open world racer
Yeah.
versus the closed circuit racing of motors. Like, so, but yeah, like Forza Motorsport tanked.
Mhm.
Um,
I would go with more Crater to be quite objectively honest with that.
you may be right there, because it may have done so horribly it ended up killing the studio. Like I
Yeah.
said, we don't know
Again, at time
if
of writing, there has not been any statement of issued studio closure for Turn 10, but if it happens, we
like
won't be surprised.
yeah, but well, here's the thing: a rumor has been kicked up that Microsoft is going to have the axe land after June 30th, after their year-end sales report.
Mm.
Like, So, guess what? Or was it July 30th? Like I've heard like 6 weeks of nervous anticipation,
Mhm.
Uh-huh.
which means it's another fucking day in the industry
Yeah.
these days.
In other
Like
news, the
because
sky is blue, the grass is
well,
green, and the water is
well
wet.
another real news, Ubisoft just axed 2 studios
Yep.
and is has done further redundancies elsewhere. Um, though
Yeah,
once again,
and other large publishers that are not doing very well.
yeah, but some of it's the industry, but in the case of Microsoft and Ubisoft, it's also on your fucking shoulder.
Mhm.
I am not going to let industry woes let Microsoft and Ubisoft shirk the blame that they deserve for this state.
Oh, yes,
Like,
very much.
Ubisoft just released too many fucking bad games that bombed hard, and now they're in real dire financial strain.
Hey, y'all remember
On top
quadruple
of the
A games?
Yeah. On top of the mismanagement of the Guillemot family. You know, the people who just can't be fucking ejected from Ubisoft. It's been tried, but they own too much stock right now.
Mhm. Outside of
You
a
know,
French Revolution, they're here to stay.
not coincidentally, there was a real dearth of Ubisoft content, wasn't there?
Aside from that one Rayman thing.
I was about to say there were 2 Ubisoft projects shown. And you know what they are? They're both remakes.
Yep.
Yep. We've got Assassin's Creed 4 resynced. And there's been enough work done on that game where I can say it's a remake.
Mhm.
Simply not a simple remastering. We've added a new lighting effect and we're done. That kind of
Right.
deal. No. They've been very, 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 very emphasizing the leap in graphical technology. And yeah, we've got Rayman Legends retold.
Mhm.
Which is a bold direction. I will give them that. I think, I definitely agree with the one commenter I saw on Blue Sky who said um, Rayman Legends probably needed a bigger differentiator between it and Origins
Mhm.
than like Wii U gimmicks,
Mhm.
to stand out. Um, but props to Ubisoft for going full 3D with this remake and not having it look like shit.
Do you classify this as a remake or a reimagine?
It's a remake,
Mm.
like in the real sense of the word, as
Well,
in
that
it's the same. Like
mm,
it's mostly the same game. It does look like they've added more 3D segments or
right.
whatever, but it's supposed to be the same game for the most part. Um, I'm sure we're going to be asking this question a lot.
Particularly for something a lot later in the show.
Mhm.
Yeah, but okay, so that's the larger Xbox stuff going on.
Mhm. Spyro's Out of Hell.
Yes. Um, Let me see if trying to remember what they're calling. Like if I can find it here on the list. Uh, Xbox. Okay, give me a minute here. There was a lot of stuff
Yeah.
announced, and we're not going to go through
Mhm.
everything. Because no, we don't need to know. Here we go. Spyro: A Realm Beyond.
Yep.
Um,
Mhm.
which it's always good to see when Activision publishes a game that isn't Call of Duty.
Mhm.
Usually,
And it's
um,
also this is a new game in proper Spyro fashion.
well, of course it is. because Spyro only had 3 games, according to Activision.
Meanwhile, those of
Look,
us who knows the dark days.
I mean, they didn't do the tongue-in-cheek thing like they did with the Crash 4 trailer. But yeah, I think we can safely ignore most of the Vivendi Universal era.
Yeah.
They still had those what's name ones, right? Though they were like half decent.
In terms of Spyro,
Yeah.
like the Legend of Spyro games.
The like
I will check which ones I'm talking about.
I think that's like
Yeah,
rebooted ones on the Xbox 360.
that's the Legend of Spyro
Yeah.
trilogy. I
I think I
mean,
have 2 of those.
I never played them, but I don't recall the first one being particularly well regarded. Like, but that's beside the point. And that is
No, I guess
Spyro is
Enter the Dragonfly was bad, wasn't it?
It was very bad.
yes,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I think the Legend might have been what I was thinking of, but I guess if that was a reboot,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, no, I was thinking of the Legend one.
But yeah. Like I said, there was a lot of trailers for a lot of games that, let's be honest here, we don't care about. Like Halo Campaign Evolved or Gears of War E-Day.
Mhm.
We talked a lot about it, but I have never played a Gears of War game.
I
So
played a few. They were eh.
I was
I mean,
never
update,
interested in beefy man with chainsaw gun.
yeah. An update to Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024. Minecraft Dungeons 2. Okay, here's something that we have yet to talk about in the grander scheme of things, and that is everything is launching in September
Yeah. I
or
wonder
October.
why that is, looking at the giant GTA shaped hole in November.
Yep. Like everybody has just cleared the way for GTA 4.
Unfortunately,
know,
they've all
it's
cleared the way into the same other traffic jam.
Yeah.
I mean that usually happens. It's just unusual that the traffic jam is in September instead of November.
Hmm.
But it's still the Christmas rush nonetheless.
Hmm.
Either that or they have jumped all the way to February, March of next year
Mhm.
because yeah, you typically don't release a game in January unless you're not expecting a whole lot out of it.
Mhm.
Mm. But yeah, now in terms of I suppose things that we care about that were announced at this particular show, um the new Castlevania Belmont's Curse got a release date of October, like
Shocker.
Because of
October
course
15th. Yeah. Um,
that's when you release Halloweeny
yeah.
shit.
And they have identified the Belmont. Um, it's not Sonia, it's
Mm.
Rogue. So that
Which
means
is not a pre-existing name, so
right. But we also don't really know if Konami is sticking to Igavania timeline.
Mhm.
Remember,
I mean
Iga
presumably
hasn't
they're
worked.
not.
Yeah,
But that doesn't mean they can't do some things that are similar to it.
like,
And what's name?
but I think people forget that. Like, not like Iga hasn't worked on Castlevania in 16 years.
Mhm.
Like,
I think they'll probably still keep broad strokes and some of the names because some of the names in the Igavania stuff came from stuff that was before he was in
they'll
charge.
probably keep the overall timeline
Mhm.
if they do.
Or like if
But
they
they're
really want to
probably
do something big, like the Battle of 1999, just at least
yeah.
do something
But
there
they're
because
also
that's
going to like reference the anime because that's popular and whatever.
Mhm.
Yeah, I mean, this could be working off the animes or timeline for all we know.
Yeah.
Like the details aren't going to be known until people come over it. This was also a very persona heavy conference.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Because we got the announce of Persona 4 Revival.
Well,
Yeah.
we knew that was coming, but we got an actual like
Yeah,
window for it, right?
And more
release date.
in-depth look at it.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. We also got a release date. This is coming out February 18th of next year.
Also, from the content that they showed, they're not doing the full-on Atlas remake that only includes anything from the very original basic version of the game.
Yeah, like Marie's in this.
Mhm.
Like, Golden has been representing Persona 4 forever at this point.
Yeah.
I know, but Atlas has been doing the remake doesn't include any of the update shit
Yeah.
for longer than that.
Well, because like
No,
specifically for 3,
no.
the FES stuff is DLC.
Yes.
Yeah.
And they will probably include some of the stuff as DLC, but
No, they just didn't want to include the feminine main character into Persona 3.
Mhm.
I wouldn't say that that was the only consideration.
Probably not, but it's also because the answer is very different from anything else Persona 3.
I made significant jokes about how the versions without the answer are arguably superior previously, and I'm
Yeah.
not fully taking that back.
No, you're not wrong.
It is a
Like,
sloggy dungeon crawl
Yeah.
with plot
Yeah.
that mostly involves characters fighting about their feelings about the way the game ended.
like, yeah. And we got the announcement that Persona 6 exists.
Admittedly,
That's
we got
it.
barely anything other
Yeah.
than a key color of green and some gravestones, but
Yeah.
And a terrible
and,
logo.
Yeah,
and I
that
think they
logo
already
is.
covered the. I think they already covered that the cover was going to be that the color was going to be green
To
too.
be fair, they peaked real hard with 5.
Mm. Anyway, ooh, this one's a disappointment. Crazy Taxi World Tour.
God damn
Um,
you, Sega!
It's nice to have Crazy Taxi back. Too bad that they used AI assets in the development of this game.
Yep. And it's not just oh, we used AI assisted tools. Like no, they used AI for picture generation. They're in the trailer. Just very unapologetically using AI here.
Mhm.
Um, and yeah, it's not going down well.
No, no, it is not.
I'm like, so that's about all I got for Crazy Taxi World Tour because
Mm-hmm.
whatever else, um, you use the Gen AI in the least defensible way possible.
Yeah.
You know, like I guess in terms of actual Microsoft games, I am looking forward to Clockwork Revolution,
Mm.
mainly because I do like steampunk stuff.
I'm interested in Fable to see how Fables are going to work without Peter fucking Molyneux.
I'll tell you what, I'm not a big fan of the Fable trailer.
I thought it was all right, but I'm not sure why
Probably,
the fuck they pulled Jack of Blades out, other than just nostalgia pandering.
I think that my problem is Fable was too serious.
Mm,
Like, look, we got enough dead serious fantasy franchises.
mm,
Like, maybe Fable doesn't need all of the the previous sense of humor, but I think it needs that to some extent.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're just kind of just another fantasy action RPG.
Right.
Anyway, that's enough Microsoft for now.
Yeah.
Over to Nintendo because a lot of stuff announced here. A good chunk of it, in fairness, is it is playing catch up with other systems. Like it's not just like Onimusha
Such as
Way of the
Stellar Blade, Onimusha,
yeah,
fucking Lords of the
Dragon's
Fallen
Dogma,
2.
Dragon's Dogma 2, Dark Arisen. Big one's Devil May Cry 5.
Mhm.
There are some people who are disappointed that Devil May Cry 4 hasn't been announced for the Switch, but I can tell you why. That's because that was built off of the MT Network framework. And
Yup.
unlike, say, the Resident Evil titles, Devil May Cry 4 hasn't had like a modern update, and the old engine's too creaky to for like quick porting.
Mhm.
Um, but it's not just third parties who are who are doing this update thing, because Xenoblade Chronicles. This was a big Xenoblade
Yeah,
Chronicles.
these are updated editions that like actually have new shit.
Yeah.
There is
Although apparently they
concern
do not by default include the significant DLC campaign from 2 and something else.
free.
Yeah.
One never had a DLC campaign because it was on the
Right.
Wii.
There is actually a extra story bit that was added for the Switch port.
Right.
It's not
But
DLC, but
but then they also announced a new Xenoblade game and sub franchise.
yeah. We're not still not sure what Genesis is, if it fits
Well,
into
it's a
the
new it's not Chronicles.
yeah.
Yeah. Um. Yeah. Xenoblade Genesis indicates a new start.
Yeah, it's not
Um.
Xenoblade Chronicles Genesis. It's Xenoblade Genesis.
No. Yeah. That was another late port announcement. Liza P.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah. Um. In terms
which
of
I
new
think I've heard
content,
mostly good stuff about.
yeah.
It's alright if you like Souls likes.
Yeah. Nintendo showed us an extended look at Rhythm Heaven Groove, which I know it has excited a lot of people. I am not one of them. I have never played a Rhythm Heaven
Mhm.
game.
And I think it's the only mainly Switch 1 like
Yeah,
title. Like yes, it will work on the
it's
Switch too.
Yeah,
it
yeah.
is being considered.
Rick D-Pad was very excited about that.
Yes. Um, like I said, we got an extended look at some already announced titles from Nintendo, like Fire Emblem Fortune's Wii. Just got a release date of September 17th.
And like what it is aside from taking place in a world that has at least the same goddess as Three Houses.
Right.
See, the setup here seems to involve basically a gladiatorial tournament, which seems interesting.
It is fresh for Fire Emblem. I'll give them that. I'm like, Pokemon Pokopia is getting a DLC expansion pack.
Hmm.
Surprising many people.
No one, considering how popular and financially successful the game is,
Mm-hmm.
absolute no brainer here. Um, the important thing to note is it's not included with Nintendo Switch Online, at least not
Hmm.
right now.
Right.
maybe in the future, but not now.
I don't think they
First,
usually announce that they're putting in a expansion with DLC with the Twitch Online thing right
okay,
off. But also,
in,
that
yeah,
annoys me
in
anyway when they do
things
that.
you will, okay, in things that you will only see at the Nintendo Direct, One Piece Grand Gourmet got a very heavily featured section.
Yeah.
Like, okay, no, I honestly want to know what was this doing here, Nintendo? Like,
it was probably literally for the Japanese fans because
Which one was it?
the One Piece game.
Grand Gourmet.
Oh,
That was the One Piece management simulation
yeah, no.
game.
That looked like an interesting idea, but like it's pretty out of their pretty
Yeah.
out of the ordinary for One Piece content. Also, I would pay money to fucking see Sanji go up to God Eneru and ask him to fucking here help me zap my fucking rice dish.
Yeah. Um.
Note that Eneru is on the fucking moon at the moment.
Yeah.
Yes. And he could
Also, I don't know if it's
fry
Eneru or Enel, whatever.
Sanji very quickly. It's kind of an important thing about that arc that Luffy was uniquely qualified to fight the god in L.
Yeah, because
Like,
every Logia fruit has some stupid weakness.
Well, and well now hockey makes it a less of an issue, but
Yeah. But for a long time, for power scaling reasons, they were running off every Logia fruit has they were using that as like their main way of dealing with certain guys that they had to deal with.
to the point NL
Yeah.
had to be fucking sent to the moon.
Right.
all right.
But yes,
Focus
rubber
people.
blocks electricity,
Yeah.
so sure, why not?
Yeah. We got a more extended looks. Splatoon Raider.
That's the single player Splatoon thing, right?
Yes.
Single player focused. It does have a multiplayer option.
But that is got a date of July 23rd.
Well, and it's
With some
cooperative
early
multiplayer. It's not like
Yeah.
Splatoon 3 where it's competitive focus.
Yes, the
Yeah.
multiplayer is going to be it's effectively you can have another player instead of one of the AI allies.
Yeah.
And it's dealing with salmonids again, so
Yeah. So really, the big game announced out of this isn't the one you think it is.
Mhm.
It's Nintendo Switch Sports Resort. Like,
Yeah, that looked. Well, they clearly thought it was important enough to have their presidents do a live demo of the. I didn't find it disturbing, but Rick did. Extremely exaggerated thumb wrestling game that's new.
once again, that is a
But
very
apparently
Nintendo.
they took out fencing for that.
I'm like, it is important to realize this isn't a remake of Wii Sports Resort. It's
No,
a
it's
new
a new
thing.
version of the same concept.
Yeah. Yes. Um, but yeah. Let's see. They have announced 12 sports. New and returning, we've got boxing, table tennis, archery, tennis, volleyball, bowling, basketball, golf, thumb wrestling, skateboarding, which is using the Joy-Con mouse controls.
Mm-hmm. I'm just saying,
Power cruising,
if they'd included sword fight, nobody would have complained.
right? Power cruising and prop playing. Though Nintendo clearly watched a lot of Thumb Wars recently.
Mm-hmm.
They clearly think that thumb wrestling is the gold of this package, considering how proud they are of it. So isn't
Yeah.
just like so. But yes, the big closer of Nintendo show was the rumored come true, the Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time remake.
Well, there was a bigger drop than that.
Yeah, I think that while that is kind of a big deal, and the art style has been somewhat contentious, and I'm curious to see where they go with actually updating it. I think some of the other stuff that they got announced at this was arguably a bigger deal than
I'm
that.
talking about Nintendo's Nintendo
Yeah,
as a
their
publisher.
first party stuff. Yeah, that's a bigger thing than the DK challenge, and I forget if
Yeah, well,
Ninjala was even them or if it just looked kind of like them.
that's from Gung Ho,
Okay.
so not them.
I didn't realize the first one had done well enough to get a second, though.
I always thought it was like perpetually overshadowed by Splatoon.
Yeah, but apparently, what is a first-party title is Orbital,
Which one?
which actually makes sense because Nintendo has been promoting that game heavily in their Nintendo Switch ad.
Oh, that
Like,
co-op
yes,
around the
yes,
spaceship retro
yeah,
anime inspired
that's
one.
Oh,
that's the
yeah,
one.
that one.
Yeah, the creators of Untitled Goose Game also showed up with Big Walk. I really
Which
don't have an
looks
opinion on it.
okay. It looked like a chill time, I guess.
Yeah. Oh yes. In the news you knew was going to happen at some point. A Nintendo Switch 2 version of Minecraft is also happening.
Hold your
Surprising, probably
applause.
nobody.
Yeah. Let's see. The probably the biggest overall news, because the Ocarina of Time, it was a teaser. We saw like 2
Yeah.
seconds of footage.
It was a
Actual
teaser.
footage.
It'd already been leaked. We had a decent idea it was coming. We didn't
Yeah.
know about
Um,
fucking Square rocking up though.
yes. And like, okay, the big thing that Squaresoft showed was Kingdom Hearts 4
Yeah.
alongside the Kingdom Hearts collection 1 through 3. Proper Kingdom Hearts games natively sourced.
They are
No
not
more
the
of this
cloud
cloud.
version. That is real on bare metal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, in fact, the cloud versions are going to get delisted.
Yes.
That they're going to
They
stop
are. They
functioning.
were delisted yet. Well, they will still function until
Yeah.
the proper games come out. And I
Right.
believe you get a
Um,
discount, like a pretty decent discount if you already have the cloud versions from what I've been seeing.
yeah.
But they will
Um,
still work
but,
until the collection comes out proper.
but yeah. Kingdom Hearts 4 got its first trailer in forever.
With
Like,
actual gameplay. This is the first time they showed off like actual gameplay, not just Sora fucking about.
right. I'll like, okay, Square, can you start showing off some Disney stuff?
We don't
Because
know how
the new
much Disney's gonna be in this though. That's the thing.
it's still credited Disney,
Well, yeah,
Square Enix.
Donald
Well, yeah,
and
they're still
Goofy
using the
are there.
Kingdom Key with a fucking hidden Mickey on it.
Yeah,
And
Yeah.
Mickey is still on the cover art.
My point is, I'm sick of seeing that white void that all the Kingdom Hearts 4 stuff has taken place in so far.
This was very much not in a white void. This was in
Yeah,
fucking Tokyo.
that's not what I mean. I mean, it's a very bland looking location. Like,
I thought it was extremely novel to see Kingdom Hearts shit happening in a modern city.
mm-hmm.
I guess I like. I want to start seeing fucking Tokyo Disneyland. Thank you very much. Like,
It's very possible they could be going back to more of the Final Fantasy side of the equation that they have neglected for the past 2.5 games.
I mean, not like the Disney stuff has been significant aside from Maleficent being occasionally relevant and Mickey and Pete, like, being important. And Donald and Goosey being party members. They didn't even have them in this one, though.
They were there.
Oh, they were?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They flashed them for a brief bit. So I guess
And they are on
yeah.
they are on the cover art, much to the
either Sora's summoning
discussion of
summoning
the public.
shades like them, or they're jumping the rift in some way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that's the big thing. The small thing is definitely Dragon Quest Monsters: The Withered World.
Although that does look interesting.
It does, like, how do I put this? It looks like a Dragon Quest Monsters title.
Yeah.
It's doing all of the Dragon Quest Monsters thing. That's fine. That's nice.
And I heard that
understand
the protagonists for this, it is 2 girls, but I heard that they're also like the 2 girls that you can choose to marry in Dragon Quest, whichever one it is.
Dragon Quest V.
Probably. I'm not an expert at Dragon Quest.
Yeah.
Especially Dragon Quest of any number between 3 and 8.
My point is, it looks like another Dragon Quest Monsters games, and Square Enix puts these out on the regular. Like, I guess, yeah, okay, you got an interesting choice for protagonists, but you're not exactly shaking up the gameplay here either.
And there's a reason why they call them Pokemon alikes and not Dragon Quest Monsters alikes.
Even though it's it's kind of a different game than Pokemon, but yeah.
More Shin Megami Tensei than Pokemon.
But you see what I'm saying? They came out trying to fight for that crown in '98, and they did not take it.
Yeah,
it was interesting that this is the one. Not totally surprising considering the other stuff that he's doing but this is where Annoying Dog chose to announce the release date for Deltarune Chapter 5, which is soon.
Yeah, but also announced was Final Fantasy Resonant, which is a brand new HD 2D turn-based RPG, the first Final Fantasy game to be done in the HD 2D style.
Well, a new Final Fantasy game,
new
not
asterisk.
a remake.
It's heavily, it's based at least somewhat on some of the story of one of the mobile games.
I think it's Brave Exvius or something like that.
Yeah. The one where you collect Final Fantasy characters, but I mean, getting that redone without a fucking gacha pull system would be good.
I think also the team has been identified as the Bravely Default team.
I mean, it looks like their handiwork.
Yeah. So that's neat. Other things, the Bloods is getting a closed network test and is still launching in.
They did not announce much about Duskbloods.
Yeah. So we'll have to see what shakes out there. But I remember, like, there was something else I wanted to mention.
Jujutsu Kaisen is getting a game from the Vampire Survivors devs.
Is getting a Vampire Survivors game, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, bunch of sizzle reel stuff, but I think that's a good canvassing. Oh, what I wanted to mention was what was not there. And that was any sort of Nintendo Classics content.
Aside from the DK Challenge, which is tangentially related. But yeah, they didn't announce anything significant for Classics. Or anything new for Classics.
Which is actually a bit mystifying because I'm like, okay, like, I get that you're kind of running out of Nintendo 64 games that you can viably release, but there's a whole pile of GameCube titles you could be working on here, Nintendo. We still haven't gotten all of the announced from the last time.
Or the fucking Switch 2 can easily emulate Wii games.
Not talking about Wii. I'm talking about we still don't have Super Mario Sunshine or Pokemon XD. Weirdly enough, like, get on that, Nintendo. Like, anyway, so that's Nintendo.
Exclusively to the Japan version of the Nintendo Direct, they discussed the English release of the first Windows PC Toho game, as well as
that's right.
Nobunaga's Ambition, some horse racing
No,
thing,
I
and
remember
Defense Force 5.
I remember what it was that I wanted to mention. Muramasa.
Yeah,
Yeah, they got a
it's
new
being released from the
slash
Wii U
expanded one of
mine.
that.
I think.
Vita.
Well, no, they also was a Wii U port of it.
No, there wasn't.
There was a
There was
Wii
never
game of it
Yeah.
that would work
It-
on the Wii U.
Yes. But never a Wii U version.
Hmm.
Because why would you?
Like
The original one works there.
yeah. But yeah, like that was honestly the announcement that got a lot of people on my timeline excited the most. So,
It's a cool game. And this
yeah.
one at least has new characters, I think.
Yeah, but it's not only coming to the Nintendo Switch / Nintendo Switch 2, it's also coming to the PlayStation 5 and Steam. So if you don't have a Nintendo Switch 2, you don't need it.
Okay, Muramasa Rebirth was released on Wii U as download only. There was no
Yeah,
physical release. That's probably why everyone
Okay.
forgot.
Yeah.
Because
Okay,
there's
fair enough.
literally no way to get it now.
Anyway, because I do want to move on to the Summer Game Fest.
Mhm.
And this will really round out the coverage. Because like this is the last thing where the big announcements were happening.
Mhm.
Because once again, it's a question of where to start. Well, I guess in this case we can begin at the beginning, because there's a whole row of announcements that were very impressive, and very desired as well. From Resident Evil Veronica.
It took away her code.
Yes, but I'm also hoping they take away the shitty design. Like Code Veronica is kind of infamous for being badly designed. Sorry, Code Veronica fans, but you
All
know that
one
one
of
boss.
you.
No, I can't say that.
I'm joking, but
But I'm like, no, Code Veronica was kind of structurally bad because if you didn't save your like bullets, you were stuck on like the second boss. It was just a flat out soft lock and absolutely unacceptable game design. It's not even game design that aged poorly. No, it's just shit.
Well, there
And
certainly have been somewhat willing to reimagine shit in these. So
I gotta imagine that they are very much going to fix that. But we have more details about Resident Evil Veronica. Like Capcom today has confirmed that it's from the remake 2/4 team, so it's third person, which makes sense since the original game was third person.
some of those are
Although,
swappable, though, aren't they?
um,
Or is that only in the later ones?
I'm not sure what you mean by
Like you can
swappable.
you can switch to a first person.
And apparently, it's already reached 1 million wish listed accounts.
Well, Code Veronica, we said, was important to the Resident Evil story, wasn't it?
Yeah, yes, it is
So,
actually like there are those who claim that this should have been the real Resident Evil 3. And there's definitely an argument for that, narratively speaking. Um, so the point is, like, this is very much desired. So took a while, but Capcom got to it. Not sure if we're ever going to see Revelations 3. Presumably that is the next one. given the rumors, but bypassing Resident Evil for the time being. Cuphead.
Both. There's
Got
going to be another Cuphead that's like the first one, and then also there's also going to be a Pixel Cuphead game.
Mighty Cuphead Adventure, which is a retro action platformer shooter in the 8-bit NES style. I don't know.
Approximately.
Like, okay, it's hard for me personally to get excited for something that is in the style of an NES game because, look at what we play. We tend to be in this field a lot more often than a lot of people are.
I'm willing to say that if they have snappy gameplay, it could be a good thing.
That's a fair
But
point.
yes, it doesn't. It's not nearly as novel as one that's like entirely fucking hand animated.
Right. Like I said, just one banger after another here because then they showed off the creative assembly in Sega's Alien Isolation 2.
Mhm.
Electric Boogaloo. Wait, no, hold on.
No, like this is actually anticipated and wanted. Like,
Are you
Alien
gonna fuck up
Isolation,
the AI with teasers this time? Oh wait, no, that was AVP.
yeah. Like I don't have a lot to say about it. Because honestly, I still have yet to play the first Alien Isolation.
Mm-hmm.
Like I have it. I don't know if I have all the DLC, but I have Alien Isolation. It's just one of those games that I'll get to eventually.
Right.
You know, and not the only Alien game on the backlog either.
Mhm.
Though definitely more beloved than Alien, like Team Extraction or whatever it was.
Mm-hmm.
One of the Focus Alien games. Uh, it's just the legend of Alien Isolation is vast at this point. Um, Fumito Ueda finally showed off his uh, game properly. There was a tease like 2 years ago at the Game Awards where I don't think they even announced the name. It's just like his latest project. Gen Atlas. Also, if you don't know who Fumito Ueda is, he's the creator or um, the head developer of Eco and Shadow of the Colossus.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
And yeah, he is bringing his sensibilities to Gen Atlas, which is certainly looking interesting, if nothing else. I will say nothing looks like one of his games. Um, it's just the issue here is it's being published by Epic. So it's not going to be coming to Steam,
Mm.
which oof, means it's going to be an uphill climb in terms of actual sales on the platform.
Yeah.
I mean, I get it. It is being published by Epic, so
Mm-hmm.
they have a desire to
Keep
have
it
their
on
stuff on
their
the Epic base.
platform. Yes.
Mhm.
But that also will come with the fact that, like people do not buy games on Epic to the extent that they do on Steam.
Mm-hmm.
Like and would put that down to the fact that Epic just keeps doing the free games thing.
Well, it not
They,
only
they
isn't not on the free games thing, but like as far as just like usability, the Epic Games launcher is just technically inferior to Steam.
yeah. Um Though after that, then we started moving into the, let's call it mid-card. Because NetEase showed off Blood Massage, which is another ancient Chinese narrative action adventure. We're getting a lot of these now, which is definitely Chinese born, light, because it's focusing on the last years of the Tang Dynasty, which is a period of history no Western developer or probably even Japanese developer would ever touch.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that out of like controversial reasons. It's just it's not a period of history that would occur to Western mind. And the Japanese, they tend to go for the Romance of the Three Kingdoms stuff.
Yeah.
Which is like the collapse of the Han Dynasty, if I'm remembering correctly.
Something like that. I don't remember all the Chinese dynasties offhand. There have been a lot of them, if you can't tell.
Well, the Han Dynasty, I know because I took a class on it back in college. Now, I will grant you that was like quite a while ago, so my knowledge of the Tang Dynasty has decayed over the intervening year. But I do remember that it's generally considered like the second golden age of China. It's actually one of the most revered dynasties. Lot of media produced about it that does not see release outside of China because nobody cares about the Tang Dynasty outside of China. Like, anyway, right, and of course we have to address the stupidest controversy out of the Summer Game Fest. That's Stranger Than Heaven.
What was the problem with this one?
Tupac Shakur is in this.
Oh, right, AI Tupac.
Oh, right.
It's not
yeah.
AI. No, it's digital Tupac Shakur. Again. Like it's from the Yakuza developer. But so this has gotten more controversial as people have been digging into the details because it's been long enough since the Tupac hologram that people are like, what? Huh? Like, it's actually been a dozen years since holographic Tupac, apparently, which is scary on a number of levels. But okay, so the sky here is Tupac's estate is actually controlled by a notorious scumbag who's currently, I think, being sued. Not sure if he's under indictment for embezzlement. And also in like a nasty legal battle with Tupac's mother and sister over control of the estate. So, given a dude that sketchy, and also Snoop Dogg's involved, who will sell his value out for $200 and a marijuana tree, we get this. Like, I really don't have any comments beyond that, which I think is most people because, the whole Tupac Shakur is in this game when he really shouldn't be has just been the narrative. As probably it should be. Like, it's like the Crazy Taxi thing. Like, you did the stupid thing, so let the narrative be about the stupid thing. Anyway, moving along, we've got Hax. Hax.
Hex.
Uh,
They said
what
it
is
hex.
hex? But look, you spell it stupidly, I'm going to
Mhm.
mock you for it.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
Yeah. Anyway, it's a new game from some of the people who did The Division. Next,
Mhm.
I
No, I get
really
you.
don't have like. There's really not more to say. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles: The Last Ronin got announced from Platinum Games.
Hmm. Yeah, that could be interesting. The Last Ronin is apparently quite
Right.
good.
I know people who have read it will not shut the fuck up about it. Like, though it's also, I think Platinum is going to be getting hopefully they are going to be giving a proper run with the Ninja Turtles, because yes, they did a Ninja Turtles game. No, it was no good because it was done by Activision, um, their fucking licensed games division.
Yeah, not the good part of Activision that makes the games
Right.
that people want.
Well, not the Activision that led um, High Moon Studios do the War for Cybertron game, for example.
Hmm.
No, these were very much um, give out a paycheck, squirt out something pretty quickly levels of games.
Something
Like the
that
Legend of
probably
Korra
would
game.
have been a mobile game nowadays.
Yeah. Like the Legend of Korra game that Platinum put out was pretty insubstantial, which makes it like every Avatar game ever released up to this point.
I still remember
Like,
that one on the 360 where you could literally get the 100 achievements in like 5 minutes.
yeah, yeah. Um, hopefully that's changing with the fighting game that's coming out in a few months.
Hmm.
Um,
It at least looks good.
yes. Um, Gundam Rogue Orbit is something surprising.
Yeah, a Gundam game that is not in the Universal Century timeline is, and apparently is in an entirely new one.
Mm,
Like the first new timeline in what, 20 years?
Nah, they
yeah. Witch from Mercury was
yeah,
in the
Witch from
new
Mercury
time.
was in
Oh,
new
right.
timeline.
Yeah. Fuck. Totally forgot about that.
As was Iron Blooded Orphans, which was
Yes, but
Fair.
more than
Iron
10
Orphans.
years ago now, I think, but whatever.
Yeah, yeah, but Witch from Mercury is only a few years old.
Right.
Um, so no, but yeah, Rogue Orbit's supposed to be its own thing, and it's also got like a AAA budget.
Yeah, it looks real good. I
So
may
this is
see
the
that.
second Gundam project recently that involves fighting aliens, apparently. So we'll
I'm kind
see.
of worried though. Like Bandai Namco is actually giving this more than a pittance to
Hmm.
to make. So, um, so, Crossfire returned as a single player, story driven title from some of the Call of Duty developers.
Not
Good.
going
Like
to lie,
people
my
want,
brain was spent during the coverage of this. My brain was got hung up on the fact of whether it was supposed to be a video game version of the old board game.
no, but I wouldn't blame you for that song getting stuck in your head. Like it's
I
an all timer in terms of ad songs.
I mean, I
Uh,
wouldn't mind if it was a reimagining of the old board game. That might actually make me slightly interested in it.
Yeah. Let's see. We got the announcement of Guild Wars 3.
I technically own
I've
Guild
never
Wars
played Guild.
2, but I've only
Yeah,
put like
Guild
20 minutes
Wars is a
into it.
game that I am aware of existing.
Barry
that's about
likes
my
it, so
yeah. Um, Virtua Fighter Crossroads got announced. Which seems to be taking kind of a Street Fighter 6 approach to things. I don't know.
Where
It's got a story.
you're in an overworld where
Yeah,
there's a disturbingly high acceptable threshold for just random acts of organized violence.
Apparently, revolving around the Chinese mafia, so that tracks. Let's see. A game that was all over these fucking conferences, but I flat out refuse to get interested in, is RuneScape Dragonwild.
I may
I'm aware
try
that
it,
RuneScape exists.
but that's only because it's going to be on PS Plus, and I have PS Plus. If
Mm.
I had to pay like full on money for it, I probably wouldn't bother.
Yeah. Mafia: The Old Country expansion. Who cares?
I keep forgetting
Seriously, who
there are
cares?
Mafia games.
I'm sure there are
1666.
people who like that.
Yeah. 1666 Amsterdam is the new game from Patrice Deset.
That has AI in it.
Not the biggest surprise there. Next. Oh right, we got a really extended look at Saw Genesis. Which is supposed to be a 3 versus 1 multiplayer game, but it's not from Ilphonic or Gun Media, being developed by Bluebird Team and being published by Broken Mirror Games and Sheer Studio. I don't care about Saw, but hopefully this is a better video game than the ones that Konami put out in the Xbox 360 era.
I hope the fans of the franchise find what they are looking for here. Moving on.
Lords of the Fallen 2. Fuck this game. Lead developers at Chud. Star Wars Zero Company 2. Got its debut trailer. I'm actually interested in this one because it's an XCOM style turn-based strategy game. So that's coming out August 27th. The Blood of the Dawnwalker vampire game from some of the people who made The Witcher 3. Oh right. You probably forgot this was a thing. Among Us story on guard got shadow dropped onto Paramount Plus.
Oh, that fucking single player
Yeah.
Among Us lore thing.
No, it's not a single player. It's an actual series. Oh yeah. No, sorry. This is the no, sorry. This is the standalone Among Us game. But also, yeah, the Among Us cartoon series got dropped onto Paramount Plus. This is the last time you will ever hear about the Among Us cartoon series.
Among Us.
Yeah. Monster Hunter Wilds Ascendant. The expansion pack. For Monster Hunter Wild.
I still have not gotten Monster Hunter Wild because I don't have time to fucking play it.
Probably for the best because Monster Hunter Wilds has not had the best of times.
The console versions are at least decent, which is where I might get it just because they didn't fuck it up like they did the PC version.
Yeah, as it turns out, the RE engine is not very good for open world stuff.
Yeah, or it just doesn't like specifically NVIDIA cards, which is what I have.
Yeah. Hot Wheels Infinite Rush announced, which is the third Hot Wheels game from Milestone. I still have to play Hot
10-year-old me
Wheels.
would be very excited by this.
Yeah. I must never let my youngest nephew know about Hot Wheels Unleashed 2. I have my Steam account. Let's see. Clutch, a new open world racing games from some of the people who gave us Forza Horizon. Actually looks pretty impressive. The opposite of that is Attack on Titan 3.
There was a 2?
Yes. It's
I guess
from
it's a
a mega.
good set. It's a good setting to do games in. I don't know that I can recommend the story beyond a certain point.
Well, Attack on Titan 3 is past that point
I was about to say,
because people were commenting the mega spoilers that were in the trailer, and I'm like, yeah, because they've already done 2 of these games. Guess where
Now, is
those
this
take
just
place?
the end, or is this like a new game that covers the whole thing? Because I thought it said something about like the whole story.
It could be the whole story, but they were very much showing the end point past the basement.
Mm-hmm.
well, when
Yeah.
shit goes all kinds of sideways,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
where I
Let's
fell
see.
off the
Pal World
series, but
1.0 got announced for July 10th, and
Which nice for them.
yeah. Once again, from the It's Still Alive pile, The Wolf Among Us 2. Yeah, The Wolf Among Us is one of those games that I've
It was one of
heard.
the earlier Telltale ones, wasn't it? It's based on some comic
Yeah.
books.
It's based off of the Vertigo comics called Fable.
Hmm.
Specifically, the sub arc or whatever of them, where the big bad wolf is a detective,
Right.
and also a guy who just kind of has the vibes of a big bad wolf.
Pedophile simulator Stellar Blade is back with Blood Rain.
I don't know if I
Yeah,
would go so far as to
no,
call it that, but whatever.
I would because like the director of the game said they made Evie shorter and younger to appeal to people.
Yeah.
Like
Okay.
that, yeah, that's a right. You need to be in prison right now and probably on a sex offenders list. The way
I
you're
bet he's
Clarify.
talking,
probably
To clarify, the first one I wouldn't necessarily have called that. The second one I
right?
did
But
hear that they were like going for a. I mean, she still doesn't look like child, but she definitely looks younger.
yeah, look, this game has been targeting the chuds as well. So
No, yes,
fuck
as
'em.
Stellar Blade was already the poster child for. Well, there's some things that aren't woke, and you can tell because they have a really uh exploitative art design for their female main character.
Right. Anyway, Street Fighter 6 Year 4. We got new characters. Yasmin,
Featuring Tifa from the Final Fantasy VII series.
yes, but they've also got new characters. Yasmin, Arjun, Bosch, and the headliner is Tifa, which has actually been long rumored. And the
I mean,
Tekken fans are
she is thematically a good fit for a fighting game, seeing as to how
yeah,
she is the martial arts girl.
yeah, and apparently it is a case of marketing windows aligning between Street Fighter 6 and Final Fantasy 7. That's why she's here instead of Tekken.
Uh-huh.
and
Because
speaking of
well, before we get to that, because the Tekken fan base has been gnashing their fucking teeth over this because they didn't get Tifa and Street Fighter did.
Uh-huh.
And all I can say to that is, oh well.
Cry
Like,
Harder.
yeah.
Who
But
did
yes,
Tekken get from Final Fantasy?
yeah. But yeah, the closer to the Summer Game Fest was Final Fantasy VII Revelation. Of course, they would go with the laziest subtitle that started with RE here.
Yeah.
Hey, be fair. At least they're probably going to spell it right.
I still need to finish the second of the new trilogy. I hate this is 3 different games.
Well, yeah, this is coming out in spring of 2027. Um, and it is coming out on everything. What Square Enix said was going to happen because going exclusive for the PlayStation 5, according to Square Enix themselves, really hurt the sale of Rebirth. But yeah, if you own Xbox Series X, S, Nintendo Switch 2, PC, both Epic Games Store and Steam, alongside the PlayStation 5, this game is coming to it.
Basically, we've had a
It's
game release
in
in
marketing that there is a dangerous balance because you want to put the thing on multiple platforms so that the media will sell the most, but also you want the platforms, you want to have stuff that's exclusive so that people will actually use your platform.
Yeah. So, how much can we talk about this? Since Petty, you haven't finished the game.
It is presumably going to cover the end of Final Fantasy VII, only stuff's going to be different.
Yeah, I wouldn't go
Well-
too deep into it because I literally even straight up avoided it because it's the third game in that trilogy. So I've not even watched that trailer because of I know shit went down at the end of the second game, and I've been playing spoiler dodge since then.
Yeah. See, that's the thing. They were emphasizing where Rebirth ended, who shows up,
I
and
think
who they're
the only thing
emphasizing.
I know that Vincent shows up.
Not just Vincent, Sid.
Mhm.
Like,
Well, yeah, they're
Yeah.
going to have the rest of the party members in the game that has the rest of the game in it.
once again, Petty hasn't reached that point.
Yeah, I know
Um,
things are different. That's all I know.
I guess they have shown off Meteor and the weapon,
Mm.
and the weapons are actually properly integrated this time. Like
They're not just
okay,
random super bosses to exist in the
no,
world.
okay. So here's a bit of behind the scenes for the original version of Final Fantasy VII. Only one of the weapons was in the Japanese version of
Is it
Final
the one
Fantasy
that blows
VII.
up a city?
I think it was
Oh no, wait, the one that blows
that
up a
kills
city gets killed without you fighting it.
the one that kills Rufus. Whichever one that one in the original game is. That was the only one that was properly integrated into the story. I think it was Emerald and Ruby. Who were the bonus boss. But they were not given proper story treatment. Looks like this time all of them are integrated into the story and the gameplay. But I think that is where we'll stop at that conversation.
Maybe we can have if
And
I can find the time to finish the second game, maybe we can do a topic of discussion on the changes.
yeah, I
Because
mean the
there's a
first one
lot there.
alone.
There's a lot there to talk about,
Yeah,
but that would
I mean
involve heavily spoilering me.
yeah. Well, like to get into spoiler, non-spoiler territory, like the first chapter ended with like a dimension hopping Sephiroth trying to change the timeline or some
Yeah, they're
stupid
doing
shit like
some meta shit is the short
that. Yeah.
version.
Yeah.
Because once again, fuck you, Nomura.
But like there are still things that we don't know at all, like the extent of like Genova's involvement. Because Genova was the real mastermind for most of that Final Fantasy VII.
To the point
It's
of
just
most of the Sephiroths that you fought were not actually Sephiroth.
yeah, because Sephiroth was always like in the north. Um, a lot of that got lost in translation because, oof, the translation of Final Fantasy VII on the PlayStation.
Look, translating RPGs is hard. There's a lot of text in them.
Yeah, but it was also SquareSoft fired their old translation team, and didn't have a new one in place, so they got Sony to translate it, and they were famously shit at translating RPG. It's not the only one that they did such a botch job to. They also did a hatchet to fucking Grandia and Star Ocean: The Second Story.
Well, okay, aside from being hard, that was also still back in the day when you had to worry about, like, literally the amount of text that would fit in a game.
But it's like that. It was significantly worse than anything that they
Yeah.
did 16-bit. And I'm including Final Fantasy 2/4 on that because they didn't lose major plot points in translation.
Right.
Oh, all right. And whew, would you look at the time? It's fucking midnight.
I can see the sun rising.
Well, my throat's starting to hurt.
Yeah, no, fair.
So that means we're closing the book on Summer Game Fest
Yeah.
and moving on to different topics next week. So with that in mind, coming up on the week ahead, really short listing this time because there is no MSP and no Friday show. So coming up on the Sunday reviews, we'll be having reviews of Below the Crown, The End of the Sun, Tree Planter, Plant Real Trees, and Katana. So until next time, I shall wish you good gaming.